In this video, I'm going to show you how to fix your soil over the wintertime when you're too busy to do a compost pile the right way. Let's get into it. Welcome back, everyone. Today, as you can tell, I am standing on a bunch of messed up dirt with a bunch of stuff mixed in. I am doing kind of a compost bed slash compost trench, or typically where if you had a garden already going, a raised bed, something like that, where you dig a trench and you'd bury food scraps, cover it up, and as it decomposes in 3 weeks, 2 months, it really obviously depends on what you're burying. If you're getting rid of banana peels and lettuce, it's gonna be gone pretty quick and utilized very quickly. One of the benefits of doing that kind of stuff is it really does have like a slow release fertilizer kind of effect, especially if you're doing everything you need to do. You know kind of what you're putting in there, you're not gonna mess it up too bad. Then it's a really good way to slowly feed your plants instead of throwing a bunch of chemicals and all that stuff over it, because you don't want to, I don't know, top it off with more compost. If you think that you need, 2 inches or 1 inch of compost over the top of the bed is a lot of compost. So it's like just kind of an in-between. And the wintertime, obviously, is a good time to do a little bit of fixing. It's a little bit cold, harder to actually compost. I have one bit over here and one pile over there that's just not doing super well. It's just not hot. One's pretty much done, the other one's just taking forever. And forever's fine. A little bit of food scraps in your garden is completely fine. Extra worms and stuff in your garden, obviously great. So just kind of showing you on a smaller scale before I really make this a bigger pile and a little bit harder to maneuver around. And then obviously I'll do another little touch up before I split it back into rows and stuff. But just generally speaking, kind of what I have done and what I will do, at least to continue this, is kind of level the ground a little bit, put cardboard, little tiny bit of dirt, food scraps, a little bit of dirt. I'm just gonna keep layering for now and let the course of the next 3 to 4 months fix everything that this bagged soil just didn't have. So on, like I said, smaller scale, I do have my recycled Folgers compost bin that I throw my stuff into. It's not broken down very well, and that's completely fine. And I also have just a little bit of leaves, but like I said, just kind of genuinely showing you, don't really care how small it is. Like I said, I have plenty of time. The only thing I do want to make sure, obviously watch out as well, it's not the end of the world. This is an avocado that I ate earlier this evening. Forgot to pull the sticker off. And then just a little extra organic matter sprinkled around. Hopefully this doesn't get focused for you. Obviously not trying to do up close with a bunch of dirty food scraps. And then the next step is covering it up. Alrighty, and the next step is pretty easy. So not as much as I would typically do. Just like I said, doing this a little bit quicker, a little bit more simple for the camera. I did not put too much down, but it's not the end of the world. You need to have it covered, obviously, overnight. Animals, you don't want that to happen. It's a huge mess. So then, it did rain, thankfully, yesterday, so everything's pretty wet. I don't need to go back over the water hose. I feel like I picked a pretty good time. And it's as simple as just grabbing a shovel and dumping it down. Also, nice rake really helps. So in this bed before, I did put down cardboard everywhere as a weed blocker and then eventual compost. And where I'm pulling the dirt from the other side of the garden, because this is the soil that needs to be fixed, I'm scooping up a little bit of that cardboard that's clearly almost completely decomposed, adding even more on top. And then I just use a rake to really scrape it, because eventually it gets kind of hard. I did have a few plants in here, put down some really good roots, so this just helps pull the dirt away. And that's pretty much it. So I will do maybe an update video. Might be about a month. We'll come in here, I'll move some dirt around, and we can kind of see how much is gone. Hopefully this thing has some worms in it by then. Like I said, it's winter time, so I don't expect too much. and we'll go from there. But like I said, this is just a super quick little how to fix your soil video. So if you enjoyed, give it a subscribe, thumbs up, and even if it's just for wearing these pajama bottoms. It's December, so see what happens. Alright, I am back inside. I knew the dogs were barking, but it was echoing a little bit more into the gazebo, so that's fun. I do apologize for any annoyance that could have caused. Unfortunately, not everybody cares about their dogs barking. But unfortunately, as you can see, it's getting pretty dark pretty quickly, so it's not like I can do that. Plus, I can't really separate trash, or I guess all the compost stuff, and put it back and then act like I didn't do it, you know, especially with it going bright and then dark. I would have to do the whole video again. Hopefully you get the good gist of it. I do apologize, like I said. Just answering one more question as well. A lot of people are like, coffee grounds are acidic. Yes, but if it's composted down, like pine needles and coffee grounds, they don't really affect your soil that much. When they break down through compost, they become very neutral. Like, I believe that they are around 3.5-ish on the pH scale, so definitely below neutral. But from all the articles that I've read, some scientific studies, that kind of stuff, like once it's broken down, it does very little to actually change your soil in general, so I'm not that worried about it. Plus, like I said, I have plenty of time. The goal is for everything to break down. So my personal stuff, we do lots of bananas, lots of coffee grounds, and I'll do lots of leaves and stuff like that. I'm trying to stick away from too many pine needles just because they take so long, but I do have a lot of quicker breaking down stuff. But coffee grounds would take a long time unless there's like lots of worms and stuff like that. So do take that in consideration, that if you're just throwing a bunch of coffee grounds and you're going to plant in a couple weeks, that I would be more weary about. But for my case, for how long we're going to wait before spring, and I'm going to start a lot of stuff indoors for my spring garden, I wouldn't worry about it. But just keep that in mind. Thanks for watching.